everyone, and welcome to Show and Tell. This is a new little show that I wanted to start doing, where I'll show you some of the gaming stuff I have here, and then give you some of its history in the world, and its history with me. So let's start the series off with a classic, the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES for short. Now this was first introduced in Japan as the Family Computer, or Famicom, on July of 1983. It wouldn't be released in North America for 2 more years in 1985. The NES is considered the console that revitalized the gaming industry after the video game crash of 1983. It formally introduced us to classics like Super Mario Bros., Duck Hunt, and The Legend of Zelda. It also had some interesting accessories like the NES Zapper, which, in case you're wondering, doesn't work with modern TVs, which is why I still own a bulky 100-some-pound 37-inch TV with a huge back on it. The Nintendo Entertainment System is ranked as the 6th best-selling console of all time, having sold over 61.91 million units to this day. And its popularity still has a huge effect on pop culture today, being involved in things like t-shirts, belt buckles, and cell phone cases, and even more. In fact, it remains so popular that despite its content once being more modern, now shifting into more of a retro, they still found homes on the Wii and the Wii U's Virtual Console. Here, you could experience your favorite NES classics without having to go through the struggle of blowing on the cartridge, setting it up, if it doesn't work, taking it out, resetting the console, blowing on it again, and going through that hectic cycle. But that wasn't enough for us greedy consumers. Oh no, we needed something more familiar, something that actually felt like the clunky yet comfortable controller that we had grown to love. And so on November 11th of 2016, the NES Classic Edition was released. Coming jam-packed with 30 preloaded games, the NES Classic Edition was only a portion of the size of the original NES. Nintendo really couldn't go wrong here. So, how does this relate to me, having been born nearly 10 years after the release of the console? Well, believe it or not, this was the first console that I had actually ever played. My dad had owned one from when he was younger, and much to my dismay, later sold it in about the 2000s for $15 at a yard sale, with all the games. A bundle which I'm sure could easily sell for over $100 on eBay or Amazon today. So how was I supposed to beat my favorite games, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer or The Empire Strikes Back? Well, thankfully I was able to reacquire one in my late teens, though with a slightly less impressive catalog of games. Back in the early 2000s, my brother and I would build couch cushion towers that we would sit on top of while playing our NES. So with the Player 1 controller in my hand and the Player 2 controller in my brother's, the NES made an unforgettable part of my childhood, and I'm sure it did for many others as well. So thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like it, and subscribe for more of this series. And I'll see you next week on Show and Tell.